I think my love for YouTube has come back. What I consume content-wise always kind of comes in waves and is constantly changing. When I was younger and I just had a GoPro, I was looking at the likes of Devin Supertramp doing crazy things with their friends, and I wanted to be that. And then I got to college and I dove a little deeper into the fitness world and started watching vlogs from Colin Von Moger, Steve Cook, a lot of those fitness people in that realm. And I loved them just showing their day-to-day and just incorporating the one thing that they really loved, which was the gym at that point. And I think it was why I really bought into them. From there, I loved music, and I kind of naturally progressed into watching a lot of tour vlogs from various artists, and I loved how they showed the behind the scenes and building, and of course like the concerts and everything, but you really, as the years went on, saw the evolution of the artist and what they were building, and you could look back at all the tours that they did and how the stages just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I think it's just such a cool thing to see the artist's journey and kind of how they grew and how their audience grew with them. And I think they just told the story along the way. And then finally, I kind of got into photography and started having some intention behind what I was wanting to do. And of course, I found the one person that almost all of us have found at some point or another, and that is Peter McKinnon. Now, this led me down a rabbit hole of years of consuming his content and continuing to strive to learn from him, be like him, and build a community like his. However, once I entered the adult world, I kind of took a step back and I wasn't consuming as much YouTube. I just didn't have as much free time, and I fell into the trap of just watching a lot of TV and being on my phone all the time. Now, I was dropping vlogs like maybe once a year, and it just became a running joke that I would always drop one at the end of the year, and it would be me saying in the vlog that I'm gonna be dropping more vlogs next year, doing all this kind of stuff, and then I just never did it. Also, wasn't super involved in building my YouTube community, and I think when I would see a video that I'd post, it just wouldn't pop off, and I'd get very discouraged, as a lot of people do. And I think that really hindered my growth, was me being in my own way. And it was definitely tough. Now, there's more growth and everything that I want to talk about, but first I got to take you guys along with me because I need to get my skis waxed. Now, these puppies are my pride and joy. These are my factions, and these are ones that I won at a Teton Gravity film premiere. These just got these new bindings put on them, and these need a fresh wax because I'm going to Banff in about a week and a half now. So I might as well bring both. Now, as you can tell, it's really crappy and rainy here in Chicago. And yeah, I can't be more excited to go and find some snow. Now, as I was saying, I got really discouraged a lot when it came to posting on YouTube and not seeing results. And then this was about the time that all the short form content, whether it be TikTok or Reels, really started picking up for a lot of people. And it made me draw even further away from YouTube at that point. Now, this new form of content really had a lot of quick, flashy edits, a lot of crazy transitions, and it was really pretty hard for people to grab onto a story sometimes. There was a lot of unoriginality that came with a lot of the copy and paste, and honestly, I'm pretty guilty of it too. I've fallen on trends and done a lot of those things, and while there's so much good to it, it also drains your creativity, at least to some degree, or at least I've seen that, because it's been tough for me to even think of stuff that I want to create that I think is cool, because all I do is try and feed into the algorithm and instead of what I actually want to do. However, as of late, I've really noticed a shift towards long form content and how content is really changing from that short, quick, flashy edit into something more meaningful, something that tells a story, something that talks about who you are in a way that 10-second videos can't. Now, I've seen a lot of creators talk about this, a few of my friends, a few other big creators. I think it's really encouraging and cool to kind of see this transitional period between short form and now moving into long form. And I think you're seeing a lot of people truly build communities that are way stronger on YouTube than they would be otherwise. So just got to Backcountry, which is one of my favorite stores. And they also do a great job of getting my skis ready to go skiing. So I'll be right back. All right, now that that's done, we can do what we actually came here to do. So coming into this year, one of my biggest goals for the year is to grow my YouTube page. And I think that also means growing a community, growing something that, you know, I'm proud of, and I can build a community of like-minded people that really want to grow and be better and, you know, learn from one another. But also, you know, it gives me something to look back on years from now to say that I did something. And by the time that 2025 rolls around, I have a goal of going into 2025 with my YouTube channel monetized. So that's a huge goal for this year, and I think it's entirely possible for me to do that. And it's going to take a lot of work, and the watch hours is probably the biggest thing that I think is going to take a minute to get to. But I don't think that's necessarily the main driver of why I'm wanting to do this. It's kind of what I was alluding to in building a community and trying to do something that I'm proud of, that is really reinvigorating this creativity that I feel like has been lost for, you know, sometimes years now. The other part of this is I really want to tell more of my story, what I do, how I go about doing things. And I think bringing you all behind the scenes and showing what I do as a professional and what I do on the side, all that kind of stuff, I think it's important to draw back the curtain and show everyone that something like this is possible. You just got to put the time in. And as I've dove back into consuming content on YouTube with a purpose, I felt this renewed version of myself really kind of coming to, and honestly, it's just been something that I feel like I've been missing for a long time now. Now, I think this, you know, renewed passion is due in large part to, one, being surrounded by a lot of like-minded individuals that push me way more than I would push myself sometimes. And two, it's the shift in content. It's going back to what YouTube used to be. I think the hard part sometimes that we deal with is, you know, on social, you're trying to remain relevant, and I just passed a cop, and I'm hoping he's not gonna see my tripod. Okay, he didn't. We're good to go. But as I was saying, trying to remain relevant on socials is sometimes hard because of the nature of feeding the beast. And I think YouTube is the saving grace to a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of creators now too, like Life of Rizza, Natalie Wynn, and even Sam Solik, slow these things down and truly tell stories and garner this audience that they're really trying to build something that they wish they had. They're trying to bring this vision to light, and Sam Solik is completely different than the other two, and the other two are completely different from one another, but the thought and drive behind the channels is the same. You're trying to grow and tell a story and build an audience that really just wants to be a part of your story, and it inspires them to tell their own. Honestly, with part of that, I think people are to some degree just getting tired of the short form content that's a quick hitter that really at the end of the day doesn't mean a whole lot to them, and the connection that they build on Instagram or TikTok can be a whole lot smaller than that of YouTube. But it's also, that's why YouTube is the hardest to grow on, is because people truly buying into, you know, a 5 to 10 minute video is way different than people buying into a 10-second video. Now, you may be wondering, wait, why are we having this video? What are we doing? Trust me, I'm getting to it. I just wanted to bring you all along for the journey with me. And it started actually last night when I was on YouTube, just kind of scrolling around, trying to see, you know, what videos I hadn't seen yet of, you know, people I'm subscribed to, and I saw Peter McKinnon's top of the year video, which was titled I Am Back. In it, he talks about how 10 years ago, his main goal was to be published in this photography magazine, and he wanted nothing more than that. And it reminded me of myself and my goals a few years ago, and how much passion I had for photography and trying to do something new and really just trying to make a name for myself in photography. And what this made me realize is I truly missed that passion that I had. And it's not to say that I'm not passionate about being a creative now. It's my priorities and my passion has changed, and it's evolved with me, but I just miss sometimes what I used to do. And I used to, oh, well, these people are videoing too. Little Osmo. I used to take my, back to what I was saying. I used to take my camera everywhere just in case I had the opportunity to capture a cool shot. Now I still take my camera with me everywhere, but it's for a different reason. I take my camera with me everywhere for work. And I think that's different on so many aspects, but it's really just different because I'm not looking for the shots that I used to look for. I'm taking it traveling to a shoot, or I'm going to a concert gig, and it's just so, the thought behind it is so much different now. I look back every now and then and yeah, it sucks. Like, I miss it. I miss this shit. Now, there was something that Peter said in that video that really stuck with me, and I think you all should hear it too. It's up to you to move yourself forward. You are your best chance at making it. Now, the other thing he said was his goal for the year was to just keep moving. And if you know me and have followed me for a while, you know that I end every caption on Instagram with "Life is good, keep going." So that same mantra is getting pulled into this year. We're gonna kick it in the ass. So I thought, what better way to do that than by putting myself back where I used to love being? Downtown. So basically, I wanted to walk around downtown and shoot how I used to. I figured this would be exactly what I needed to start the year off right. I miss shooting, and it is all of Gotham right now in Chicago. This haze, this fog is beautiful, and yeah, so let's get after it. So yeah, here's some of the flicks that I got. Hope you like them. So here's to putting yourself out there this year. If you made it this far, 2024 is shaping up to be the biggest year yet for me as a creative and just personally. And if you are at the tail end of this video, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.